Hi, everyone. It's great to be here in Boston. Actually, after this last year, it's just great to be here, period. I was diagnosed just a little over a year ago with stage 2 triple-negative breast cancer. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I didn't think that it would happen to me. As a journalist, I had done many, many interviews over the years, and I had reported that statistic, 1 in 8 women will likely have breast cancer at some time during their life. But honestly, I didn't think that I would be that 1 in 8 because I didn't have breast cancer in my family. So I kind of felt immune. And I must tell you that by going public with my breast cancer diagnosis and journey, by sharing it, I have heard from women all over this country, and I have learned that I'm not alone. It's kind of a common myth out there, and it's a myth that can really be dangerous for women because it lets you have this kind of nonchalant attitude about your actual risks of developing breast cancer. On June 5th, 2014, I went for my screening. And I must tell you that that day, I'd had my mammograms every year. I was really very vigilant about having my screenings. And that day, I remember my gynecologist had said, make sure you get the 3D mammogram. It's exponentially better. It's worth the money you're going to pay out of pocket. And I did. I got the 3D mammogram that day, and I got a clean bill of health. And then I walked across the hall, and I got an ultrasound and heard those words that no woman ever wants to hear: you have breast cancer. I must tell you, none of my doctors had ever had a discussion with me about dense breasts or the need for an ultrasound in addition to a mammogram. It was a fluke. I had gone to interview Dr. Susan Love, as you know, a leading expert on breast cancer, and I was sent to interview her about mammograms. And in between takes, they were changing batteries on the camera or something, and she looked at me and said, "You do get your mammograms every year, right, Miss London?" I don't know how many of you know Susan Love, but she's a force. And I said, yes, I always get them, and they're always nerve-wracking. They're always calling me back in for more films. And of course, you panic and say, why, did you see something? And they always tell me, nah, don't worry, it's just because we can't say anything. You have such dense, fibrous breast tissue. And with that, she said, wait a minute. If that's the case, then you really need to go back and talk to your doctors. You need to have an ultrasound in addition to a mammogram. I'm happy to tell you that for me, thankfully, because I got the right screenings, I had 9 months of treatment, 16 rounds of chemo, 6 weeks of radiation, 2 blood transfusions, surgery, and I am now cancer-free. I'm now NED, a phrase I've come to love, no evidence of disease. Nice try, cancer, I'm still here. And I have hair again. But I approached my battle against breast cancer, I think, with the same attitude that has really served me well all throughout my life and my career. And that was a positive attitude. And we all know, all of us who work in this field and who hear from women and men going through a cancer battle, how important that is. A positive attitude, seeking out your best options, fighting like a warrior, and expecting to win. Although I must tell you that the day that I walked into a hair salon and had a stranger shave my head, I felt a little more like I was channeling Britney Spears. But since I feel that Dr. Love's interview saved my life, I now feel it's important for me to pay it forward.